Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
And here we go again, Monday, October 10th, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. Thanks for making us part of your day. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards rocking the New York Football Jets.
Yes, sir. Jets.
Big
Jets,
weekend
Jets,
for
Jets.
you, Braylon. Big weekend, baby.
Big weekend. You know what? So since I left the Jets, since I kind of retired, I have not been back to MetLife. I have not been back to New Jersey since. Man, I missed it, man. Being there was so much love, whether it was the training staff, whether it was the media relations people, community relations people, whether it was Woody Johnson, etc. Missed that family. It was good to be around. And I want to start off with this. Our favorite movie is Rocky.
Yep.
What does Rocky say? Nobody owes anybody anything. You don't owe people. So I spent so much time like, oh, Michigan owes me this because I'm this guy. Well, the Jets owe me this because, I got to the AFC Championship back-to-back. They don't owe you anything. But if you reach out and you talk to people and say, hey, you know what? I want to be a part. This is what's going on. Then they remember you and they give you every flower that you thought you deserved. So I had a darn good time. Joe Namath was there. I was kicking it with Broadway Joe. Mark Gastineau off the Sack Exchange. And it was good to be in the building, man. Like the Jets. Garrett Wilson's the new 17.
Yep.
Garrett Wilson came up to me. You know he's an Ohio State guy.
Yeah.
He came up to me. He said, what's up, 17? I said, no. That's you. You're 17 now. So it was good to see. But I was just watching the game from the Jets' perspective, and I was thinking about the draft. They draft Breece Hall at the beginning of the second round. They take Sauce Gardner, Detroit native. They take Garrett Wilson, Zach Wilson the year before, Jermaine Johnson. All of their first-round, second picks ball. They all ball. Remember during the draft, they said that the Jets and the Lions probably were like A-,
draft, yeah.
A+, A-, and A. I'm going to tell you like this. I know people are injured. I know it is what it is. It's no comparison. What I saw from the Jets, once they get a Mike linebacker, once they get a consistent offensive line, Jets are going to be a problem in a great division.
New York Jets alumni weekend. Braylon taking it all in there. And Maz, he saw a team that was on the rise. He saw a team that you look at in year 2 of a regime, and it looks like they're getting somewhere. Good afternoon to you, I should say, Tom Mazawey.
Hey, guys, I couldn't wait to start the day today. I'm like jacked up, man, with football, and I'm
Mountain
pissed.
Dew, baby.
It's an A+ for the Jets draft. And now it looks like a D for that Lions draft because I don't see nothing right now.
The interesting thing about the Detroit Lions is, we keep having these conversations, no SOL. Say, hey, you know what, they got a lot of injuries. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look at the offense. Look at what Jared Goff was doing. Yeah. Look at DeAndre Swift when he's healthy. Look at Amon-Ra St. Brown as a 5th-round pick. Yeah. Look at Malcolm Rodriguez. It's the same on Lions. Like, you guys asked me on Friday, it was like, who are you picking? I said, it's the New England Patriots. The Lions have to show me. I don't want to hear any excuses anymore. This is Bailey Zappi. And this was that defense. Defense is okay, but this isn't a typical Bill Belichick defense that they had. There's no excuse to go to Gillette Stadium and lose 29-0 to a team that's probably not making the playoffs. Ryan Ermanni, I'm tired of the excuses. I don't even know where they go from here. It's going to be a very interesting 2 weeks for them, considering they have the bye week.
Well, it feels like totally rock bottom again. How many times have we said that as a Detroit Lions fan base? Oh, and by the way, Dan Campbell just said it yesterday.
I believe we hit rock bottom at the 29-0 loss to the New England Patriots. For Dave Burkett for the Free Press. Appreciate you, Dave. What do you think?
We got the sound for that now, too.
Yeah. Sorry.
Wow. Okay. I saw that it wasn't there, so I was trying to run with it.
Right. It's all good. Never mind. He
said
it.
You don't have to say never mind.
I believe we hit rock bottom. So now the only place to go is back up.
Well, thank you for that.
Now you can say it's okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a quick question? I don't want to cut you off, though. What does that mean, though? Like, we keep getting these cliche terms from Dan Campbell. it's my bad, or this is on me, this one's on me, I got to be better, I'm sorry, we've reached rock bottom, there's nowhere to go but up. I get it, Dan Campbell, I understand that though, but Ryan Ermanni, you tell me, in the NFL, all these games are close. In the NFL, you can change your tune in the span of 2 years. What are we getting out of Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions, Ryan?
Here's what I would like to say, and I'd like a close-up. Thank you for that. Here's what I want to say to the people who watch us daily or who may even dip in or dip out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I said that this football team could win 10 games. I'm sorry that I told you that this is different. I'm sorry that I thought Dan Campbell was a good football coach. I'm sorry that I fell for the old routine again. I'm sorry that I thought that Charlie Brown was going to kick that football.
Lucy moved it once again.
She moved it once again. And I'm tired of this. As a Detroit Lions fan, yesterday beat me down, and it beat me so much that I just can't do it anymore. I am going to just not care about the Detroit Lions. I'll talk about it for the job aspect of it, but I am not going to put my heart and soul into this franchise anymore, or even again, until they're relevant. And the only thing that can get them to be relevant is not to win the next game against Dallas. That's to win the next 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
Get to be 500 and then talk to me. Because the way it's going now, everything sucks.
Can I ask you a question?
Everything sucks.
And I don't want to be the guy that says, I told you so. Although y'all know my favorite phrase is, I told you. But I won't do that now. I'll just simply refer to this, Ryan. When people tell you who they are, when people tell you what the process entails, what the journey entails, Maz, listen to them. Like all the Detroit Lions fans, including you, Mr. 10 Wins, you got so excited after Aiden Hutchinson and Jamison Williams get drafted and you move up. And then Hard Knocks. And then you see the energy between Aaron Glenn and Deuce Staley. And you see that energy and you get excited. Like, you know what? The NFC is this. And Geno Smith is a quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks and all this other stuff. At the end of the day, listen to what Dan Campbell told us. He said it's going to take 3 years. And when you paid attention, that Brad Holmes chose not to pick anybody up in free agency on the defensive side of the football, you had to know that it was going to be a 6-win season. You had to know that.
Are you sure they're getting a 6?
Well, not now, but I'm saying before the season started, 6-win season was on. That's what their mark was. But what were they last year, JB? They were 3-13-1. So if you win 6 games, that's double last year.
Maz?
My guys are sad today. I'm looking at Maz's face. He doesn't know what to say.
First of all, I'm glad that Savion Smith is healthy. That's the best thing that came out of yesterday's game. Because when I was driving home from here, we did the pregame show, and Rob Sims, phenomenal job for Rob. Rob got tricked. He picked the Lions to win. He texted me yesterday during the game. He's like, had a good time at the show, but this game is not what I thought it would be. And I just wrote to him sad. It forced me to go outside to the garage with my wife. I had the TV outside, just put the sound up, and I didn't watch the rest of the game. I just listened to failed 4th downs and interceptions and fumble returns for touchdowns, and I cleaned the garage out. The garage is spotless. It's ready for the winter. Put 2 cars in there, no problem. So thank you, Lions, for that. And have the nice week off. You're going to meet a Dallas team that is probably going to slaughter you. You probably won't score against that team either.
Hey, Maz,
there's a good chance that you'll be shut out in back-to-back games.
Remember I kept giving you hell for last year, just saying, like, every other word out of your mouth was
Micah Parsons.
That's why I love you, brother. You knew where I was going. You know what? I apologize. Because the Detroit Lions, as much as you want to say they've changed and they're different, Penei Sewell's a hell of a player. Penei Sewell has the opportunity.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday.
Oh, wow. Happy birthday to Penei Sewell. He has the opportunity to maybe be a gold jacket. Now, with that being said,
good for him.
Micah Parsons has a chance to be the best defensive player of all damn time. The Detroit Lions blew that. So did a lot of other ones. But, Maz, I won't bust your balls anymore. You're absolutely right to keep bringing that name up.
I'll never get over it.
You know, so yesterday was miserable for a lot of different reasons, but the
Jets won.
The way it started off even made it miserable. Even before the Lions game started, there was a game in London yesterday morning, and the New York Giants beat the Green Bay Packers on the road. The New York Giants are 4-1 this year. Didn't
you call that?
I did.
You're the only one. Me and Matt took the pack.
The New York Giants have as many wins after 5 weeks as they did all of last year. They have a rookie head coach, Brian Daboll, and it's no problem. The Jacksonville Jaguars are, even though they're 2-3 right now, they're playing pretty darn good football. They are a plus 31 on the year. They're the only team in the AFC South to have a positive plus minus in their division. It is not hard to turn it around in the National Football League. It's just not. Now, it's not the case for every team. Carolina fired their coach today. It sucks.
Good call by you. You called that.
Absolutely. But, you know, after 60 years, you figure the sun would shine on your you-know-what every now and again. It's just not that hard, Bray.
Doug Peterson is the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. What did Doug Peterson do 4 years ago, Maz?
He won a Super Bowl.
I say that again. Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback, mind you. Now, obviously, Carson Wentz gets hurt right before the playoffs, and then Nick Foles has the run.
He won it with a backup quarterback.
That makes it even better. Won a quarterback. Brian Daboll coached under Bill Belichick for years. He was the offensive coordinator in 2009 when I was with the Browns before I got traded under Eric Mangini. And then he went back to New England to figure out his nuances and learn how to talk to players. These guys know the game. Doug Peterson and Brian Daboll have been conditioned to be head coaches in the NFL. The National Football League, they've been conditioned. Meanwhile, I love Dan Campbell as a person. Dan Campbell is amazing. I think he's a great motivator of men. I think his wanting to change the culture here, I believe he's already started that process. But that doesn't mean because he's a nice person, he's a head coach. I got a lot of people I like, but that doesn't make them great at what they do. He's not a head coach. He's just a great guy and motivator.
I think he could still become a very good head coach.
I disagree.
All right, we have time yet. I mean, he doesn't have all the pieces yet. This is the way I look at it. Call me whatever. If they win against Minnesota, they beat Seattle. They're in that game yesterday. I think they're deflated.
Maz.
But I will tell you.
Maz, we can't. Oh, go ahead, Ryan. I'm sorry.
I will tell you exactly whose fault that was. There's one person I have to blame here, and it ain't the quarterback. We'll get to it next. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. You see that black and yellow sign out in front of the house? It tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 local monitoring. Make sure what is important to you stays safe. Call this number right now, 1-800-STAY-OUT. That number again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. They play better defense than the Lions, too, by the way.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey guys, for a limited time only,
Big
the
boy.
all-new burgers and loaded fries are only
Can I get
at
cheese fries?
Big Boy. You can, buddy. You can also get these new burgers. How about the Big Jim?
What
Never
about
mind
the
the
Big
Slim
Jim?
You got the Big Jim and their new burgers, the Bacon Blue and the Chili Cheeseburger, and your fries. You got to upgrade those to the Chili Cheese Fries, the Baked Potato Fries, and the Nacho Fries. Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
You know, certainly we didn't play good football there. It was not good. It was the worst of the season overall as a team, and you know, that falls on me. You know, I mean, you can't play that way, and unless, you know, your head coach doesn't have them ready. So that's 100% on me.
You know, when the head coach and Maz, I'll give you credit for this because you just said it, looks disheveled. Put the hat on straight. Look like a professional. Don't look like you just got your ass kicked. Seriously, and I mean that. I mean that. Don't look like you're just all beaten down, beaten to death. Because
it's depressing.
If the team is going to be a product of their head coach, you know who just came in looking like that? Dan Campbell. The team will be moping around like that. Because it sure looks like the season's over by that look.
You know what happened is at the end of the season last year in December, we talked about the Lions, the Liars, excuse me, the Liars as they are. Talk about how they finished the season. Even though the season was over, they wouldn't make the playoffs. All the guys came in. All the guys stayed the course. They got a couple wins in there. They looked okay. You go to the offseason. You get to the Senior Bowl. Fast forward from the Senior Bowl, you get to the draft. We get an A- in the draft because we draft Aiden Hutchinson at 2. We move up to get Jamison Williams. We drop Josh Pascal, Kirby Joseph, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's all this momentum. And then you get to Hard Knocks. There's more momentum. So now the Detroit Lions have all this momentum leading into the first game of the season against the Philadelphia Eagles. They only lose by 3. There's more momentum. Then they beat the Washington Commanders. There's more momentum. And then they lose to the Vikings on the road in a game that
they were up 14-0.
And that's when it really turned.
Up by 10 late in the fourth.
Yeah.
10 and 14. So now the momentum is going from this. So now it started to go down after that game. Then last week you're playing the Seattle Seahawks. Listen, Russell Wilson's no longer there. It was Geno Smith. And I understand how well he's playing, the accuracy and all that. I don't care. It's Geno Smith. You lose to Geno Smith, you allow the defense to give up 48 points to the Seattle Seahawks. Then the momentum's going down here. Now you got a game in which you're playing against the backup quarterback for the New England Patriots on a team that has no offense, can't score points, and can't figure it out, and you lose 29-0. You know what the Detroit Lions did, Ryan Ermanni, and it's gone? They lost the momentum. And I don't see them getting it back.
And it's because of their head coach. Look, Dan Campbell has lost them the Minnesota Vikings game. He lost them the Seahawks game, and then clearly yesterday. I'm going to play this soundbite for you. He's going to put this on Jared Goff. This is not on Jared Goff. Could Jared Goff be better? Absolutely. Does Jared Goff have to stop turning the football over? Absolutely. But you know what would help Jared Goff as well? Is if you would put your players in a position to win the game. On 4th and 9, at the 32-yard line, you're electing to go for it instead of kicking a 49-yard field goal. You are down 6-3. Or excuse me, you're down 6-0. A field goal cuts it to 6-3. If you don't have a kicker on your sideline that could kick a 49-yard field goal, I'm sorry.
Didn't you tell me there's a De La Salle kicker right now that can make that field goal?
You can get the De La Salle kicker. Hire him. Get him.
Badgley can
from
kick.
Off the team.
Badgley can kick unless he got hurt yesterday, and we don't know it. He's a good kicker.
That is the only excuse.
Don't forget, the Arizona Cardinals blew their game. They missed a 42-yarder. Wait a minute. 2 weeks ago against Minnesota, they don't want to kick the freaking field goal. I mean, you can't. You kick the field goal, and he blows it. Seibert is gone. You got to make the kicks.
That was a terrible decision to kick it anyway.
No, it wasn't a terrible decision. I'll tell you that a million times. He had 3 decisions. Whatever one didn't work, you're going to kill him on.
No, and that was the worst one you could have made, by the way. Punt it or go for it.
I'm going to let you guys do your thing. I'm coming in
Make the kick.
I'm coming in as an innocent bystander, but I have to lobby on the side of you got to attempt the 49-yard field goal. Even if he misses it, we're not having this discussion about Dan Campbell making the right call. We're having the discussion that
Oh,
the kicker has to
sucks.
make the kick.
Correct.
But I agree with you. 49-yard field goal. You get paid to be an NFL field goal kicker. You got to attempt that as Dan Campbell. And if he misses it, that's not your fault. But you made the right decision.
The kicker had to be hurt. I can't wait to hear from him today.
And no offense, but on the opening drive, I know you want to go for it and all that stuff, but don't you have to read the situation a little bit too? You're playing a third-string rookie quarterback in Bailey Zappi, who's making his first start of his career. Don't you want to pin him deep?
Yeah.
Maybe make him think about it inside his own 20? What are you going for it in your own territory at the 45-yard line? You don't have DeAndre Swift, by the way, who... Hello?
I asked you that before the season.
Can this guy stay healthy?
I asked you, was it worth drafting?
They played 5 games this year. I haven't seen him in 2 of the games. He missed 60% of the games. 40% of the games they play already. 40%.
I agree, man. I asked you guys during the draft. I said
he can't be your best player. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
He can't be your best player if he doesn't play. He's just an unavailable player then.
The best ability is
availability.
Don't even talk about him right now. We're talking about the game yesterday.
Your head coach just blew it for you. Your head coach elects to give a short field to your head coach. The head coach of your football team elects to give a third-string rookie quarterback 45 yards and his opening possession instead of pinning him inside the 20.
I got you.
And how about maybe kicking the field goal 49 yards?
Yeah.
And this Badgley guy, he better be hurt.
He's got to be hurt. He's got to be hurt.
You go 4th and 9.
The Lions last year. The Lions led the league in going for 4th downs.
6-0 game.
They led 4th down conversions.
Wait a
minute. This year they did 47 last year. This year they're on pace for 68 attempts on 4th down.
Football season's over. It's only week 5.
No, it's not over.
It's over.
Well, it probably is.
Now the Jets are my new team. Braylon's giving me the sweatshirt.
Go ahead, play the cut on Goff so people can understand.
Hold on, let Braylon get in here.
No, I was going to say something real quick. The interesting thing about it is this. Sometimes we talk about they don't have enough players. Players are hurt. They're waiting to draft defensive players next year. They're waiting to get some defensive free agents next year, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what? I'll even give them that pass. I'll give them that. But the pass that I won't give them is players have nothing to do with coaches maturing as a coach. As coaches getting better. He told us last year after the Ravens game he would do better. He told us last year after the Minnesota game he would do better. He told us last year after the Philly game he would do better. He told us after the Cincinnati Bengals game last year he would do better. He told us after the Minnesota Vikings game 2 weeks ago he would do better. He told us after the Seattle Seahawks game.
It's week in and week out he's got to do better.
I'm tired of him saying he'll do better. Dan Campbell's an amazing individual, but I'm tired of him going to the podium, giving us the same cliche things.
The defense really only gave up 5 field goals, but they just couldn't get off the field on 3rd down.
But we're talking about
they cannot get off the field.
Well, this poor defense, they gave up, 20 yards on the first drive? And you're in field goal range already because you're going for it on 4th down.
You're putting them in a bad spot.
I don't know if I'm more mad at Dan Campbell or more upset at myself. And that's really what this anger comes down to. That's really what I'm feeling right now.
You just want to have a winning team.
Is it too much to ask? Is it too much to ask Dan Campbell on Dan? Let's play this on Jared Goff.
We just could never really get Goff in a rhythm, and so we were doing things that we wanted to do in the run game. It was going very much like we kind of thought it would and hoped it would. We just, when it came time to throw it, we could never get him quite comfortable. Can't allow it. If you're going to run like that, then you better just tuck it and, or just have a little bit better feel of where it's coming from, But yeah, I mean, it's, tell you what, I've never seen anything like it. It's like we turn the ball over, we give up 7 when it happens, and so. But it certainly hurts us. So.
I asked you guys last year when he cried after the Philadelphia Eagles loss. I asked you guys, is this position as the head coach of the Detroit Lions, which is a franchise that's been struggling for 70 years, is it too much? Is it overwhelming. As I'm watching that press conference, Maz and Ryan Ermanni,
it is.
I just see a guy that doesn't have the answers and does not know which way to go. Is it up? Is it down? Is it right? Is it left?
I'll tell you what this is. And this is a coach that's completely unfair to his quarterback right now. That soundbite was completely irresponsible and not that was horrific to Jared Goff. And do you want to know why? Because Jared Goff feels like he's got to make every freaking play known to man because you as a head coach continue to put him in that situation.
Yeah.
So he's thinking he's got to make some freaking crazy Patrick Mahomes type play. If you use your kicker, maybe he doesn't have to feel like he's got to make every play. If your defense didn't suck, maybe the quarterback wouldn't feel like he's got to thread the needle or make every throw or play perfect football because he is not a Hall of Fame quarterback. But he's a very good quarterback, and he's a winning quarterback. And you're putting him in impossible situation after impossible situation.
Listen, Lion fans, listen, hear me out for a minute. Throw yesterday's game out. I'm a horse race guy. I play the horses. Sometimes a good horse has a bad race. Now, we know the Lions aren't a good horse, but they're a pretty decent horse, and they'll give you everything they got. Yesterday, Bill Belichick reamed him, okay? And Bill Belichick does that to a lot of guys. But he saw a coach, second-year coach, in Dan Campbell. He saw how the Lions were dominating on offense, and he showed you how to stop the offense and how to beat them. And Dan Campbell helped him along the way by going on 4th and 9, not kicking field goals when you need it. The defense can't get off the field on 3rd down. Throw that game out. It's a clunker. It doesn't help right now for us. It does not help us. You get the week off. God willing, you get DeAndre Swift back. That's got to help you. J-Mo's coming soon. Hang in there. You got Dallas. That's going to be a tough game. Let's see how hard they can play against them. Let's see how hard they can play against them. It is very hard. No doubt. They might not score. You're right. Okay, but they got a week off. Throw yesterday's game out, please. Bill Belichick, mine-effed Dan Campbell.
Will Braylon react to that?
Maz, how many times are we going to say throw last week's game
Braylon react to that next.
Throw that one out.
A message from our friends at Custom Health Centers. Is it time to get back to your fighting weight? Feel like some are packed down a few too many? Custom Health Centers takes the willpower out of weight loss. Whether you need to lose 20 or 120 pounds, Custom Health Centers will help you do it quickly and safely. Ready for the website? CustomHealthCenters.com. CustomHealthCenters.com. Or give them a call today. 844-789-THIN. That number again, 844-789-THIN.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
WoodwardSports.com, Woodward Sports Chat. Thanks, everybody, for being along with us on another Blue Monday. How many times have we said that about a Monday after a Lions game? And perhaps one of the things that hurts so much, too, is that we're talking about Jalen Hurts, Carson Wentz, Kirk Cousins, Geno Smith, and Bailey Zappi, and you're 1-4. That is not Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady.
Wait till Cooper Rush gets him.
Jesus. Yeah, Cooper Rush.
5-0.
Who's Miami's quarterback?
Oh, my God.
You know, Teddy Bridgewater going to be out?
He got hurt.
You're looking at a third stringer there.
They might pick up Josh Rosen, who just got released by the Browns again.
It's what makes this so difficult is the quarterbacks you're losing to. Braylon.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about it is I was listening to Maz talk, man. He's like, yo, just give effort, man. Just like put it all on the line and just like you got this. You guys have talent. You have ability. We've seen it. Put it on the line. When I was at Michigan, I ran track. There was a guy named Francis LaPlante. Francis LaPlante, same age as me, same year. He was a walk-on runner. Francis LaPlante, he worked extremely hard every day. He was the first one to practice. He was the last one to leave. He worked hard. He worked on the starts out the block. He worked on the first 60 meters of his 100-yard dash. He worked hard and hard and hard. And guess what? He still got his ass whooped by me and other guys in the Big Ten. It doesn't matter how hard you work, how much effort you give, if you don't have the right people giving that effort. I legitimately was in New York. I told you. The Jets, with the draft picks that they had, what they did, they got guys making plays, and they're making plays at the positions that you draft. The Detroit Lions, they need guys. And Dan Campbell, like, it's a two-for. It's a two-for. Brad Holmes isn't getting enough of the credit for what's going on right now. It's only Aaron Glenn. It's only Dan Campbell. Let's talk about Brad Holmes right now. What free agent move has Brad Holmes made since he's been here that was a winning one? With the exception of, you can say, Josh Reynolds. Don't worry, I'll wait.
That was the middle of the season, too.
But he still made it.
Nothing.
Exactly. There's nothing. Then there's draft picks. Don't worry.
I'm on Ra, and that's about it.
And that's a 6th-round pick, so that doesn't even count.
4th round, yeah.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, 4th-round pick. That doesn't even count in the grand scheme of things. Tell you like this, you keep placing blame on Dan, you keep placing blame on Aaron. At some point in time, you got to start putting some blame on Brad. And now this draft, 2023, very crucial for Brad Holmes.
Yeah, and look, Brad Holmes has seemed to look to be Teflon at some point here. But if you just look at some of the things that he's done, I would tell you that Penei Sewell, even if he's a Hall of Famer, he whiffed. Brad Holmes whiffed. And Maz, this one's for you. To select Penei Sewell over Micah Parsons seems like it was a bad choice. Now, you can say, well, he's getting a Hall of Famer, potential Hall of Famer on the offensive line. I understand that. But if you can't get a 4th down and 1 like yesterday, I would tell you that that's a bad choice when you've got an absolute game-changing player in Micah Parsons. That looks like a bad choice. It looks like 97 just... Uh-oh. Anybody see 97? No offense to Aiden Hutchinson and his family. I'm a big fan of the Hutchinsons, but...
I haven't seen him since the Iowa game.
I mean, milk carton, Aiden Hutchinson. He
had 2 tackles.
You got to give me something more than this. And I look behind. I mean, look, Stingley, Sauce Gardner, are they really going to choose? This is just one of those drafts where...
I saw Sauce Gardner get an interception yesterday.
I know, but you're just not doing that. You're just not taking a defensive back 2 overall when you just took one 3 overall, and it's a complete bust. You're just not doing. You're probably not taking a wide receiver. This could just be one of those drafts where you have the number 1 pick and Jamarcus Russell is there. You know what I mean? Not every draft gives you the riches that Miles Garrett can give you, or anything like that. Sometimes the drafts just aren't there. This looks to be one of them, where there were a lot of decent players, but no blue chip guys. Maybe this is that. But that's how I equate it. You got the number 1 pick in the draft, and you got friggin' Jamarcus Russell instead of Aaron Rodgers. That's just the way it is.
I understand that.
Already?
No.
Not already. I'm not calling him a bust, but
5 weeks.
Hold on, Maz. We're not calling him a bust at all.
Just saying I need
more,
more,
at the same time, you want to see him. What I will say is, the NFL of college football are what 2 schools? It's Georgia, it's Alabama. When Michigan played Georgia this past January, when we got slapped around a bit, you should pay attention to that film. Because guess who did not show up in that game when they played Georgia? Georgia is about the realest imitation of the NFL that you will get in college next to Alabama. I didn't see Aiden Hutchinson anywhere on the tape in that game. Your job as a scout, your job as a GM, your job is to get the best player. I don't care what the draft entails, whether it's a good year, bad year, up year, down year. Your job is to get the best talent that fits your team that you see to be the one. When I watched the Georgia tape, I did not see 97 one time. I don't care about what you did against Maryland. I don't care what you did against Penn State. I don't care what you did against Nebraska. What you do against Ohio State, really good game. I see that. What did you do against Georgia? Oh, you put a Casper the Friendly Ghost on this.
Listen, they drafted Hutchinson 1. Then they reached out and they moved up and they got your wide receiver of the future. Then they came back with Josh Pascal. The reason he took Josh Pascal there is to bookend him with Aiden Hutchinson. So Hutchinson's working on his own right now. So the Brad Holmes plan isn't in full effect yet. Now, I'm the first guy to tell you, I don't want you drafted injured players. And he was an injured player. And then they go and get an injured tight end after that. And they drafted J-Mo, who was injured. I keep saying it, but keep hitting my head against the wall. So let's wait till Pascal gets on the field and see what he can do to maybe bring Aiden's game up to where it could be.
I understand all of these things, and I want to be very clear that I'm not calling this guy a bust after 5 games. I would never do that to a rookie. But what I'm saying is I'd love to see something more out of 97. He is the second overall player in the draft. I don't think we're being unreasonable here, right? Now, this I know as well. The Lions have virtually no talent on defense. They have none. So the more talent you have, the better 97 probably looks.
Agreed.
Right? I mean, there's
and he will get better.
There's no doubt about that. But I just don't see anything. Who had the game yesterday? Who had the call?
Kenny Albert.
Kenny Albert. Who was he with?
Very good. From the Saints, Jonathan Vilma.
He's
very good.
So you think Jonathan Vilma knows what he's talking about?
Yeah, he does.
You know what he said yesterday about 97? Did you hear him?
No, I was in the garage.
Jonathan Vilma said, now, I'm sitting here watching Hutchinson play. And to me, it looks like he's just playing the game. He's got to develop a pass rush move.
He will.
He's got to develop something because right now he's just playing.
Can I say,
go ahead.
I just want to compare it to something.
Okay.
The talent you play with makes you better.
Without question.
Now, let me take this side note. I'm a bowler, right? Okay.
Yep.
When I bowl in a mixed league, I'm just okay. When I bowl with the guys on Thursday and never mind Friday night, it's like a pro league at Harbor Lanes. I show out. I'm better. I'm watching better bowlers. I'm on a team with better bowlers. And you know what the guy tells me? Maz, you're really improving your game. I can't believe it. I'm like, yeah, I'm just watching you guys. He's like, that's the key. When you're watching other good bowlers, so I'm going to relate it to Aiden Hutchinson. Who's he got to look up to on this team?
Maz.
Michael Brockers?
Maz, you're 1,000% correct.
Who sucks too, by the way.
100%. But you're 100% right in terms of you need players around you to boost your level of play. You need rush-ins on the other side to take off the double teams. You need somebody coming in as a D tackle to help you out, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I understand that. But when you draft the guy number 2 overall, it's not necessarily about him getting 5 sacks in the first 5 games of the season. It's not about that. It's about looking like someone that's deserving of the number 2 pick overall. I don't care about double teams. It's about someone that's causing a ruckus, that's almost getting to the quarterback, a guy that's helping in the run game as well. Maz, he's not the 32nd pick in the draft.
Listen to me.
He's not the 22nd pick in the draft. He's not the 12th pick in the draft. Maz is number 2. And I understand that he's playing with guys
that don't matter.
Maz, but it's when you can see it. You can see when somebody is really, really good, but playing with people that aren't as good, you can see it, and I just don't see it.
Lawrence Taylor, when he was drafted by the Giants.
Out of North Carolina.
Okay, I was there day 1 of his career. And he's the greatest football player of all time.
Period.
I worked at his place as well, side note. Okay, I know Lawrence Taylor and I know the Giants. He came to a defense that was already ready to win a playoff game and drive to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Bill Parcells as his head coach. This kid is coming into a team, the worst defense in the NFL, and a second-year head coach. And you want him to get to be Lawrence Taylor or to be Aaron Donald. It ain't happening. Aaron Donald went to the Rams.
Right.
He had talent there.
Matt,
but you guys are
no, that's not what I'm doing. Maybe he is. It's not what I'm doing.
I'm just saying, don't piss on him yet. He's got growth.
First of all, he's a University of Michigan man, so I would never piss on him. What I'm trying to tell you is this. It's not like being a wide receiver your rookie year where you're dependent upon a quarterback, where you're dependent on the offensive line to block for the quarterback to get the ball to you so you can make a play. This is the defensive side of the ball. I understand. I'm not asking him to have 7 sacks right now. I'm not asking him to lead the league. I'm not even asking him to lead the rookies. But what I'm asking him to do is when I turn the film on and watch, I want to see something. I want to see someone trying to get to the quarterback. I want to see something having an effect in the run game as well. I understand he's playing with guys. He needs more guys on the defense. I agree with 100%. But I got to see a guy that's trying to make a difference, and I just don't see it.
First of all, totally unfair that you think I'm comparing him to Lawrence Taylor,
I didn't say
Aaron Donald.
I didn't say that.
Or anybody like
you're putting that. You're putting him on a piece of crap team expecting better from him.
Let me tell you this.
All they're going to do is put 2 guys on him. He's done.
Let me tell you this.
No one else is getting there.
What I saw yesterday was a third-string rookie quarterback who was pressured 3 times the entire game. Do you know how many times Bailey Zappi got hit yesterday?
None.
0. Bailey Zappi was hit 0 times yesterday in 26 dropbacks. 0. Not even 0.5. Clean. His jersey was as clean after the game as it was before the game. I need to see something. Heaven forbid somebody on that Lions defense get after the quarterback. So who am I putting some blame on? Some, not all, is the guy that was picked 2nd overall. That's all I'm doing. Not the guy that was picked in the 6th round, not the undrafted free agent, the guy that was picked 2nd overall.
Maz, you said he got drafted to a crap team, Ryan Ermanni. Is that what Maz said?
The worst defense in the NFL.
Okay, understood. I agree with
you.
No
talent.
They are. In 2006, my 2nd year with the Cleveland Browns, we were 4-12 my rookie year. We're 4-12. We sucked. We draft Cameron Wembley in the 1st round.
I remember.
I'm trying.
A rush edge from Florida State.
He blew out.
Guess what he did his rookie year? In a division that featured the Baltimore Ravens and the Steelers and the Bengals that were good at the time. They should have went to the Super Bowl if Carson Palmer doesn't get hurt. Guess what he did? 11.5 sacks on a sorry-ass Cleveland Browns team. I don't want to hear any excuses.
I got to get to the breaks, but first a message from Swiss.
Oh, you know what? I don't even need to break it. Check this out. Swiss Insurance Group, my man Mark. They want to protect you, whether it's liquor liability, whether it's protecting you, giving you the coverage that you need. You don't want people like the Detroit Lions covering you. You want Swiss Insurance Group. So let Mark and Swiss Insurance Group cover you.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
We just could never really get Goff in a rhythm, and so we were doing things that we wanted to do in the run game. It was going very much like we kind of thought it would and hoped it would. We just, when it came time to throw it, we could never get him quite comfortable. Can't allow it. If you're going to run like that, then you better just tuck it and, or just have a little bit better feel of where it's coming from, But, yeah, I mean, it's, tell you what, I've never seen anything like it. It's like we turn the ball over, we give up 7 when it happens, and so, but it certainly hurts us. So
So that was Dan Campbell yesterday. We played that before, but I would like to ask you guys, because I think we just kind of went off on our emotions and really didn't pick apart what he was saying. Why is he putting this on Goff? Because, you know, coming into the game, they're the number one offense in football, but he seems to be putting much of the blame on Jared Goff. You have your hand up, Tom Mazawey.
Just remember last week against Seattle, he did it again. He mentioned when Seattle took it 75 yards, he mentioned the Goff turnover, and those things are killers. Remember? He didn't say anything about the defense giving up 48. He talked about that Goff pick six. I remember it specifically. And we can go back and get that sound for you. But that's 2 weeks in a row. It don't sound like Jared Goff's his guy, if you're asking me.
You know what I think is this. I think that Aaron Glenn is his guy. I think the defense has been struggling, and we've all been talking about Aaron Glenn. We've all been talking about the defense. I think this is a deflection move. This is him kind of shifting the blame, shifting the conversation, so no one's now thinking about Aaron Glenn. No one's now thinking about how bad that Detroit Lions defense is, and they're focused on the one thing that we actually do well. Well, they had done well. Is pass the ball with Jared Goff on offense. I think they have a good offense. I think they had a bad game. I think they can get back to what they do in 2 weeks, And I think Dan Campbell knows that, so he's placing the blame somewhere where he knows he's got some stallions. He knows, hey, you know what? The one thing I do know is on that side of the ball, we're pretty decent. We're okay. He's trying to shift blame, and he's trying to shift you guys' focus from paying attention to what the issue is, which is Aaron Glenn and the defense in terms of making plays when it counts. I understand that the Patriots didn't score a ton of points, but they kept the sticks moving.
Yeah, they can't get off the field.
Exactly. They can't get off the field.
And the Lions, Bill Belichick was a work of art yesterday. He kept the Lions offense off the field.
Just want to tell you, too, that the New England Patriots scored more points against the Detroit Lions yesterday than they had against any other opponent through 5 weeks this year. But
it was close.
That's Matt Patricia again. I
told you, Bill.
What do you think Matt Patricia was thinking yesterday?
He hates the Detroit Lions.
He was eating it up, man.
He hates the Detroit Lions.
Boy,
he hates what he did here. He hates that people comment and tell him how bad he was here. So he wanted to stick it to Detroit because he hates Detroit like we hate him.
Remember when Jim Schwartz rode off the who did he ride on? The Bengals' backs when they beat us? Remember he went to be a D coordinator somewhere? Maybe it was the Eagles. Maybe it was the Eagles. Remember they rode him off? I mean, what is with this freaking place?
God.
It's
just so bad.
They don't deserve this.
It's so disappointing. You know, I tweeted this out yesterday. I give so much. I get poop in return. I really do. Like I'm a good fan.
I saw you say it on the night. It was Pisces.
I am a good fan. I'm a good Lions fan. I've been doing this my whole life. I give them my heart. I give them my soul. I give them my head. I give them my money. I give them my Sundays.
Yeah.
And now
and your Mondays.
That's not good enough. They want to take my Monday.
No, your Sunday nights are shot.
I mean, that's
your
not
Mondays
good enough.
suck.
They want to take my Mondays.
Well, you know
now.
what you could do.
You know,
there was an individual that kept giving all of herself to an individual. She gave all of herself to Tom Brady, all of herself to his kids, all of herself, all of herself.
You're such a Giselle lover.
And guess what? She said, finally, you know
She's
what?
a turd.
I'm divorcing Tom Brady. Maybe it's time for you to divorce the Detroit Lions.
Perhaps.
She's a witch anyway.
It is the Swiss coverage play of the week. Maybe this is why Dan Campbell is putting so much heat on Jared Goff. You'll see it next. But first, a message from SMA.
The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, this is the S word, and the S word stands for stigma, because we're trying to destigmatize mental health as well as addiction. Sean Jordan and NFLPA do an amazing job of providing content, conversation, and subject content for you to look at and see, is this something that affects me? Is this where I'm at with it? Go to thesportsma.com. Get all the information you or someone else that you know may need.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, only at Big Frog can you get yourself a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. Yes, that's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog in Novi. Just stop in and tell them we sent you, and they will print you up one right on the spot. So check out Big Frog in Novi today to get your free Woodward Sports t-shirt, or check them out online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
Yeah, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz on a beautiful Monday, just talking about the Detroit Lions and the misery that continues to be. Ermanni, let me ask you this question. Going into this bye week, you know, I guess you should be asking me this question, but I'll ask you. Put yourself in my shoes as a former player. What do you address going into the bye week, 2 weeks before you play the Dallas Cowboys, who are a team that looks pretty damn good with Cooper Rush?
You look yourself in the mirror. Each and every player, each and every coach has to look at themselves in the mirror and say, what can I do to fix this? What can I do to be part of the solution and not continue to be part of the problem? If that means to get yourself healthy and get on the field, that means get yourself healthy and get on the field. If that means win your one-on-one blocks, that's win your one-on-ones. If that's catch the football, whatever the case may be, you have to look yourself in the mirror and do better. That's the coaches, that's the players, that's everybody in the organization. And again, I go back to this. If you don't have a kicker on your roster right now that can kick a 49-yard field goal,
shame on you.
Shame on you. Shame on you. You had a guy, and that goes back to another Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell. That was a poor evaluation. That in and of itself, Riley Patterson and Austin Seibert, that was a poor evaluation. I think you should be much more concerned in things like that because you're clearly picking the wrong guys. Clearly picking the wrong guys for your final 53.
Patterson was awesome last year in relief of Seibert, and he was awesome in preseason as well, and they were even, and they didn't want to get rid of Patterson, but they decided to keep Seibert. Patterson, of course, they tried to trade him. No one would trade with him, of course, because then the Jags pick him up on waivers the very same day the Lions released him. So you're stuck with what you got. He gets hurt. You bring in that Dominic Eberle. He wasn't the answer. They go get Badgley, who kicked well for the Bears, Chargers prior to that. He didn't get a chance. I'm just thinking there was something up with him. Otherwise, there's no excuse for not trying to kick a field goal. Only down 6-0 at that point, 4th and 9. You can't go on 4th and 9. There's a lot of coaches nowadays that are going for it on 4th down. The Chargers guy, Brandon Staley, probably leads. He's probably second behind Dan Campbell and going for it on 4th down. It's a new era of football. It's not like what you watch anymore. It's not Tom Landry, Lombardi, Shula on the sidelines, Parcells. Although Parcells like to roll the dice once in a while. These guys have this thing hanging on their belt. They look up and they're like, okay, oh, there's the score. Oh, yeah, we have to go for it here. They don't go on feel a lot. They just go because the freaking paper tells them to go and do something. Or I should go for 2 here, even though no one's missed an extra point yet. But I should go for 2 here because that's what the sheet tells me. You don't follow the sheet. You follow the game flow. And sometimes you go with your gut, but not all the time. 4th and 9, no excuse, unless you had no kicker.
Let's take the coaches out of it for a second. Now, let's remove ourselves from Aaron Glenn as well as Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson. Where's that energy that we saw from the Detroit Lions in minicamp? Where's that energy that we talked about on social media as these guys were working out. And Tracy Walker getting here early because he didn't want to stay away from Detroit even though it was cold outside, wanting to be here. And obviously he's hurt, but I'm just talking about his fellow teammates. Where's that energy we saw these guys, Jamal Williams, play against the Colts on Hard Knocks? Where's that same energy that Calvin Shepard said, nah, man, we're going to put the league on notice? Where's that energy that Dan Campbell had when he told us the Detroit Lions will and can, or whatever the hell he said? Where's that energy?
And where's the hope, though? I mean, seriously, where's the hope?
You had hope until, wait, you had hope. You lost 2 games by the skin of your teeth. And this week you went in, we all thought they were going to win, except Braylon and maybe 2 other guys. Everyone here on this staff picked the Lions except Adam, I think.
Kool-Aid drinkers.
Your coach is losing games for you now. That's where my hope goes out the window. This league, Tom, listen to me here. Hear me out. Stay with me and tell me where I'm wrong. This league is so freaking close, man. It's so close. It comes down to who wins in this league. Comes down to 5, 6, 7 plays a game. Okay? And if you don't have a coach that is going to put you in the best position to win that game in those 5, 6, 7 plays, you're done. And I'll tell you, it might look like it's nothing. But this is something. When you have a coach, forget about the 4th and 9 with the 49-yard field goal. When you have a coach electing on the opening drive to go for it, on 4th and 1 on your own side of the football, when you've got a third-string rookie quarterback starting in his first game, has it crossed your mind, you know what if we don't get this? We make Bailey Zappe's life a whole lot easier. He's probably got to get 7 to 10 yards to get in field goal range.
That set up the whole game for him, no doubt about it.
That's what I'm saying. Instead, if you punt it, maybe you put him inside the 20, maybe the rookie quarterback craps himself a little bit, throws an interception, fumbles the football, gets in a situation where he's got to force something. If your coach doesn't recognize that play on the opening drive of the game has affected the rest of the game, then I can't help you. I lose all the hope then.
I think Dan Campbell is in a situation right now where he's second-guessing every decision that he's going to make. Every decision. Whether,
you're right.
Should I go for it on 4th? Maybe I shouldn't.
Should
I kick the field goal?
Man.
Should I do this? Mm-hmm. It hasn't worked. Every decision that he's chose to make, it's gone the opposite. So he's in a situation, Ryan, imagine, I could be wrong, but this is just what I see.
You're not.
Every decision he makes, he's overthinking. Mm-hmm. He's like, shoot, what should I do? Well, last time I did this. Well, maybe it's this. I think he's in a position where every decision he's made from last year to this year in terms of in-game management hasn't been the right call. And every decision he's making now, he is second, third, and fourth guessing himself.
You could drop the mic.
Boom.
That's it. That's it. He's in his own head. And he is aging in dog years.
He looks like a president right now.
He does.
After 2 years, when the president goes, you take your picture on Inauguration Day, and then at the end of your term,
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's like the white hair comes in, it gets a little thin.
Remember Barack Obama, how bright and young he looked? The time he left here, looked like he needed the freaking old folks.
He couldn't wait to get out the office.
And he had it pretty good.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump, coiffed, looking good. Now look at him now. He looks like a crazy man.
He's always looked crazy.
Oh my God!
You're fired,
guys. We're gonna take a break.
I loved him on The Apprentice.
I did too.
We're gonna take a break. Come back. Got to do the Swiss coverage play of the week. Then we're gonna go around the NFL. We'll dip our toe into college football, but college football is gonna be a big day tomorrow. But we will absolutely touch on college football coming up. But first, a message from the Foaling Warehouse.
Yes, the Foaling Warehouse, where you can maybe act your age and have a great time. Be a kid again. Football and bowling put together. Chris and Noni Hutter put that great game. Get down to Hamtramck. A great place, man. It's like going back in time when you walk in there. It's like a retro bowling alley, except it's Foaling. 2 ways to play this game. $12 unlimited open play or a private lane reservation. For 10 or 12 of your friends, you get a lane for 2 hours. Only runs you $120. That's less than $10. per person. You can bring your own food in, have it delivered. Plenty of bars there. Have any drink you want. Over 100 beers the Folding Warehouse has to offer you, plus the $2 mystery beer machine. Get your full on. Check them out at foldingwarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Time. It's almost up.
Well, that's on me, Braylon, but I got you. JB here telling you about Planet Fitness. They are offering a special of just $1 down.
Only $1?
A month. Yes,
only $10?
Yes, just $10 a month, $1 down from now until October 14th, which means you have to act fast. Hopefully faster than the Lions defense. Just saying. But Woodward Sports is also broadcasting live from Planet Fitness on Ryan Road in Sterling Heights all day Wednesday, October 26th, which we are giving you the opportunity to win a lot of prizes. We've got Michigan versus Michigan State tickets, which also comes with 1 year free of the Black Card membership, a signed Darren McCarty jersey, or our very own signed Braylon Edwards jersey, the New York Jet himself.
Braylon Edwards for the Jets?
Not my jersey. So join in club today or check them out at planetfitness.com.
Look at that. Braylon Edwards, fresh off his trip. Jets alumni weekend. Looks like he's got some really good swag there.
A little bit of swag.
Hour number 2 of the program. Welcome in Ryan, Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey, Fletch, and JB in the house. Talking Lions here. In this, we'll get into some college football a little bit later on. But Braylon, time now for the Swiss coverage play of the week. And this is really kind of highlighting just how bad Jared Goff was yesterday, too.
When I was in New York, I saw the game. Sauce Gardner, Detroit native, had the coverage of the game. Could have said he was with Swiss Insurance Group and Mark.
Could have.
Time to talk about Swiss. I ain't talking about no ham and cheese sandwich. I'm talking about Swiss Insurance Group. Did you know that 1 in 6 kids will develop a medical condition that makes them uninsurable? Swiss Insurance can save you money. Save you money, your auto, your home, resulting in no out-of-pocket costs to insure your children. Check in with Mark with Swiss Insurance and make sure your family is protected. But guess what? You want to talk about protection? Let's take a look at this board over there.
Let's do it. What do you got here, Bray?
All right, what we got right here is man-to-man coverage. It's cover one high safety, so everybody's playing man. You see down here, this is the coverage that you want. This is what Mark and Insurance are talking about. Jared Goff has a guy that's going to peak late, but guess what? Doesn't see him. Give me the next one, Fletch. As we go to the next one, he's got a guy. He's in the flats. He's going to get the first down.
Full?
So you think. He's going to get the first down.
Look how much room he has to run over and roll to his right.
Although
this is 3rd and, what is this? This is 4th and 2, Bray. 4th and 2. And he's going to hit that short guy, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Maz with Swiss Insurance Group. Check this out. Look at the guy streaking out of the slot, about to be wide open for a touchdown. But you know what? He misses him, which is okay, because running back's going to get the first. So you think. Next slide, Fletch. Look at the pursuit of the safety and the cornerback. Amon-Ra St. Brown catches the ball, but they are all on it. This is the coverage that Swiss Insurance Group provides you, because as you thought they were going to get it on 4th down, next slide, Fletch. Look at that. stop short
That's a loss of
of
one.
the goal. Swiss Insurance Group provides coverage like the New England Patriots on that play. So you know what?
Look at the next slide.
You might want to give them a try.
Look at this next slide.
Is it MCDC?
Look at that.
That's what I said.
Look at that, folks.
That's a touchdown.
That is
He's got to hit that.
That's a game changer.
If we're going to get mad at Russell Wilson for missing the slant on third down last week or this past week on Monday Night Football, you got to get mad at Jared Goff for missing the seam route that was wide open right there.
All right, Maz, it's your time now. Take me around the NFL. Lots of news and notes happening around the league, and some big games yesterday, Maz. Take me there.
Let's start you first with tonight's game. Monday Night Football. It is the Kansas City Chiefs welcoming in their old AFL favorites, the Oakland Raiders, now in Las Vegas. So who you like tonight? How about this? I'll give you this stat.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes, 22-3 against the AFC West.
I don't think there's a team that Kansas City can play that I would pick against Kansas City other than Buffalo in Buffalo.
I'm still choosing the Chiefs.
There you go.
Like at the end of the day, as it relates to the Chiefs in Buffalo, you got to beat me, man. Like everybody's so eager to dethrone Patrick Mahomes. Everybody's so eager to place Josh Allen there, Justin Herbert there. Did Justin Herbert make the playoffs last year? Did Justin Herbert make the playoffs 2 years ago? Did Justin Herbert, how's he looking this year?
He sucks, too.
Josh Allen, head-to-head, has he beat Patrick Mahomes? No. Stop trying to dethrone Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs are going to blow out the Las Vegas Raiders.
I don't think so, but okay, let's move on. Here we go. Next
you also
up.
thought the Lions were going to win last week.
I did. Okay, but I'll be closer on this one. Panthers, we said it. The first coach fired is
Matt Rule,
Matt
baby.
Rule.
Right. Say on Friday.
I said it right with you.
Ryan Ermanni.
I was right with you. Try not to steal all the
Matt
thunder.
Rule fired. Another hot cake alert.
Also said the Lions are going to win 10 games.
Well, screw you.
Hey, Steve, I think it's Steve Wilkes who's taking over, isn't it? Put that graphic up there.
It doesn't matter. They're
It does matter.
Ryan Ermanni could take over and win just as many games as this guy.
You don't have the graphic
No,
of
you
Matt
don't
Rule
have
being
that.
fired?
Next one, man. We ready. Next.
Yeah, I just want to see again. What's it say at the bottom
The
there?
Panthers have fired Matt Rule.
That's what we said.
It doesn't say who's coming
The
on?
Carolina Panthers have fired Matt Rule.
Fine, I put the wrong damn one
Yeah,
up.
you're fine.
He's going to be okay. You know why?
$11 million.
He's going to make $844,000 a month for the next 48
That's
months.
real nice. They fired their defensive coordinator as well, by the way.
And Baker Mayfield in a boot.
They should fire everybody that has something to do with that organization, with the exception of J.C. Horn, the DB from last year. Fire Christian McCaffrey. Fire everybody except J.C. Horn.
More bad news for the Miami Dolphins. Tyreek Hill injured in a walking boot now. So what happens to the Dolphins? They're down a quarterback, and they're down their best receiver already. Jalen Waddle had a groin injury. They just no-showed yesterday against the Jets.
Definitely, and I was at the game and was watching these guys go at it, man. The New York Jets did a great job of corralling those players in space. What the Miami Dolphins like to do is they like to do these things called extended handoffs. Not running plays, but those short passes, and they like to let Jalen Waddle get busy in space. They like to let Tyreek Hill get busy in space, and the Jets just had an answer for it every time they tried and they stopped it. But the good news for the Miami Dolphins is, as a walking boot, sometimes that walking boot is a precaution. I've been in a walking boot on a Monday and still played that next game, so maybe a sprained ankle, something like that. So you hope for the best, but it may not mean disaster for the Miami Dolphins.
You're freaking Braylon Edwards, though. He's just Tyreek Hill.
Man, you know what time it is.
You know what time it is.
Hey, another injury. It's a bad one for Seattle. And Rashad Penny, fractured fibula. Looks like he is done for the year after a great game last week against the Lions. He was just starting to come on out, and guess what? K9, Kenneth Walker III, took it to the house, 68 yards yesterday. Wish we could show it to you. I'm sure you guys have seen it, but welcome to the NFL, K9.
So excited for K9, man. We talked about a lot, man. You know, we give Michigan State a lot of you-know-what, but we were all on top of K9 as it relates to his skill, how good he was with that team, and what he really meant to the Michigan State Spartans. So he's the type of guy, I knew he would be decent in the NFL, and I was hoping to see him. I'm sad that Rashad Penny had to break a fibula for him to get in, but I expect good things out of K9 up there in Seattle.
That's a good off-ramp for a moment, Kenneth Walker, because I do want to dip into some college football. We'll get back to the NFL. I want to dip into some college football because I don't know if you guys read Wojo in the Detroit News on Sunday, but he basically said, while the score was closer this year than it was the last year, this year's loss to Ohio State is much worse than what was it, 56-7 or something last year?
They took the pedal off the metal.
Yeah,
56-7.
But this 49-20 felt a lot worse. I want to get your take on Ohio State, Michigan State, where the Spartans program is.
I was there.
And where do they go from here? Because it just looks like it's terribly broken. And will this stop? And how close are they to turning this around? Let's start there.
By the way, just give me credit. I won't say anything. Matt said the score of the Michigan State-Ohio State game was going to be 48-21. And the score
Did he
was,
really?
Yes, and the score was 49-20. If you add them up, they both equal 69. Matt's hell of a job.
Thanks, brother.
I pay attention.
Good
man.
job, Matt.
I was
But
at
first-
that game. I had fun, though.
So we'll talk about
Sorry
it.
for you.
We'll talk about it next. We'll get to the college ranks next. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. It is no secret that new cars are hard to come by, but they are available at Les Stanford. Got to make a plan, though. Allocation coming in for lease or purchase of new vehicles. Les Stanford has also over 300 pre-owned cars on their lot right now. All makes, all models, all years. Get off your heels into some wheels. Come on down today, practically giving them away at Les Stanford Chevrolet and Cadillac. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there.
And that one Lions playoff win in 1991, yeah, Detroit fans were there.
Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
At Alta, uptime matters.
Yes, it does.
Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, Alta Rental has got you covered. Call them today at 844-GO, the number 2, Alta. That's 844. Go to Alta.
49-20. Ohio State beats Michigan State over the weekend in East Lansing. Mavs, first of all, I want to come to you because you were there.
I was. Sat at the 50.
One of the things that was really eerie about it, and it kind of is reminiscent of when your program is just down in the dumps, because there were many games at Michigan Stadium during Rich Rod and even a little bit in the Brady Hoke era when you're just getting pounded and you have nothing going for you. You look in the fourth quarter and the stadium is just empty.
I could beat that. The half of the stadium was scarlet. It was red. It was blood red. And it was blood in the water from the get-go. I paid $10 for a 50-yard line seat.
Wow.
I went by
Get
myself.
out of here.
No, $10. I sat on the 50, right in my seat. Wasn't like nowhere else. I sat on the 50. And there were a few little, it's a hub bench seat, same as Michigan Stadium. There was a little room still. The student section was not filled. And by halftime, the student section, you could have counted how many kids were left in there. And I know they're going to the bar and having a good time. They may mainly leave anyway, but they didn't give them anything to root for except the pick six on a completely accidental play by C.J.
Yeah, it was
Stroud.
miscommunication.
It was a complete miscommunication.
It wasn't anything that
There was
Michigan
no
State
play.
did.
As a matter of fact, if C.J. held it for one more second, he had an 80-yard touchdown to that guy who was open.
So he would have had 7.
He would have had 7. I've never seen anything like the Scarlet and Gray. They looked like a professional team. It was men against the boys, literally, in height, in girth, and in skill. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a freak. C.J. Stroud is a freak. He might break
Haskins.
the mold. He might break the mold of Ohio State quarterbacks not making it in the NFL. And Bray, you know more than me when it comes to this, so I'll give it to you. But Michigan State fans, half of them had their tickets and just stayed tailgating. That was it. No one showed up really for this game, and for good reason.
The one thing that Ohio State does well in terms of, let me take a step back. The one thing in terms of Ohio State as it relates to their quarterback, whether it's Haskins, rest in peace to Hassan Haskins, whether it's Haskins, whether it's JT Barrett, whether it's what's the other guy, the big dude that won the national championship, Carlisle Holiday, whether it's Terrell Pryor, the list goes on. Their talent level is so much better than the rest of the Big Ten, Michigan included. So much better. They're on the same wavelength of Georgia and Alabama, that when the quarterback, all he does is give the ball 50-50 balls to athletic players. He gives them the ball, zero screens, things like that. They run slants. The quarterback never really has to read coverages. The quarterback never really has to dial in and learn how to mature as a quarterback. So as it relates to him breaking the mold, I got to see it, just like I got to see the Lions win a game.
I'm with you, Bray,
but
on
with
that.
that being said, you're not lying, man.
He's smart.
Like Ohio State, C.J. Stroud is smooth. Marvin Harrison, Joker's got 6 touchdowns.
He's going to the NFL already.
Joker's got 6 touchdowns. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr., we all know who his dad is. Arguably the most underrated wide receiver in the history of the NFL. He's got 6 touchdowns in the last 2 games.
But
and Jackson Smith and Jigba isn't even playing.
Didn't even play.
Right, he didn't even play. But,
he didn't need to.
But again, Ohio State Michigan State sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that you're like
Michigan
State.
They played hard in the
sucks.
first half, though. They played hard. They just can't keep up. They don't have the talent to keep up. I watched Mel Tucker the whole time. I wanted to say, Tuck coming. As a matter of fact, I took a picture and I sent him to you. He was in a short sleeve, first short sleeve polo shirt in the first half and long sleeve in the second half. Nonetheless, they did play hard for him. They showed up, and the offense just don't have it. Peyton Thorne is completely getting. No wonder he can't make a completion. He's under duress from the minute he takes the ball.
He's definitely under duress, but he's also trash. You call it spade a spade. Peyton Thorne is not the guy, but to your point, he's definitely not getting the protection to even be able to try to find something. But it does look better when Kim is in the game. You look at Michigan State, listen, man, as it relates to Mel Tucker, and I love Mel Tucker. I keep saying this. Mel Tucker was on the staff when I was in Cleveland, when I got drafted. I know him as a person, as a human being, as a husband. I love Mel Tucker. But let's get back to the facts of the basics. He doesn't have a resume. So when Michigan State hired Mel Tucker, he's coming out of a year and a half coaching for the Colorado Buffaloes. That's it. There's nothing to draw from. When Jim Harbaugh got the job, you can go back to San Diego, you can go back to Stanford, you can go to the NFL. When these coaches get hired, they coach somewhere for some time. Whether it's Urban Meyer starting off at Bowling Green State and then going to Utah and then going to Florida and then going to Ohio State. They have a backtrack. He doesn't really have one. He's a great assistant coach. He's a great DB coach. He's a great defensive coordinator. Well, I won't say great. He's a really good defensive coordinator, but he doesn't have a head coach record. And you insert him in a school like Michigan State right after Mark D'Antonio leaves. It was a bad time to take the job. He got saved with K9. Now it's up in the air. We just did the story with SMU and players transferring and sitting out. Michigan State might be along the lines and their players of sitting out to get to the transfer portal. It is ugly in East Lansing. I don't know what to do for them.
I made some good friends in the stands. I sat with some nice people. They're all season ticket holders.
You always sit with nice people because you're a nice person.
Thank you.
Because you're a
but
nice
I wound
person.
up making friends with this guy. And he happened to be a Michigan guy that lived in New York for about 25 years. He went to high school in New York. He loves the Jets. I was telling him, Braylon Edwards. I work with Braylon Edwards. And Braylon's got at the alumni game. So we kept talking. And he's like, I said, what do you think of Mel Tucker? That's what I said to him. And this guy is 70 years old, on the button, but a very smart sports fan. You should hear him talking to his wife behind me, to tell him what each play is going to be. Oh, they missed this, they missed this. He's like us. So he says, I don't believe in him. He came in last year. We had the team ready for him. He had a great running game. He fell into it last year. Then he went into his history. He said, he was with Chicago. They hated him in Chicago. They ran him out of there. Then he kept going, basically telling me his whole history.
Yeah.
And I was like, these are Michigan State fans. The ones that don't comment here on this, but these are the true blue Michigan State fans, the elder statesmen. And there's a lot of them that aren't on the Tucker wagon. I can tell you that right now.
But they were never on the Tucker wagon until they beat Michigan in 2020. Remember the game before that? Remember what happened when they got spanked by the Rutgers? And then everybody from the Michigan State fan base, oh, get Tuck out of here. What the hell is this guy doing? He has no track record. They hated him then. And then he beats Michigan and said, okay, well, you beat Michigan, we'll give you a chance. And then 11-3, K9, and he beat Michigan again. But they hated him from the jump. I keep going back to the track record. It's going to be one of those situations very similar to Mark D'Antonio where you're going to have to make a decision. Are you going to fire your defensive coordinator? Are you going to fire your secondary coach? Are you going to fire your offensive line coach? Or are you going to pull a Titanic and go down like the choir with the ship? Because it's going to be you or them or both.
But that's the thing, that's the thing. Mel Tucker has no track record. That's why we're trying to figure out what kind of a coach he is and what kind of program he's going to lead.
He's got the look.
I mean,
he's got the marketing, and he's got the look. He's got the cigar. He's good looking. He's well dressed. He looks like he could run through a wall.
Right.
That's what I want out of my coach. But I don't know if he's that good a coach.
I think he has everything except the right school. Like, if I'm being honest, if you put Mel Tucker in an SEC school, if you put him LSU, or if you put him in South Carolina, or you put him in the Clemson job, obviously that will, you can't get that job. Mm-hmm. But you put him in a different place where they're recruiting, where they're good, where an individual might be number 2 in the conference, or number 3 in the conference, or number 1 in the conference, I think he'd be a hell of a coach. But you put him in Michigan State at a time after Mark D'Antonio leaves, when Michigan is on the rise. Ohio State is a juggernaut. They'll always be a juggernaut. It's a tough spot to recruit in Michigan State right now. D'Antonio always used to play on, we'll get the 3-star, and we'll make them our Michigan State guys. We'll turn these guys into men. I'll tell you a secret. That bleep ain't working no more. Guys, it's not working.
The Michigan State has 4-8 staring them in the face at best.
They do.
Right now.
They do.
4-8 at best. I'm giving them wins over Indiana and Rutgers, and that Indiana game is going to be iffy.
Who's home?
Indiana's defense is very physical.
Who's home in that game?
Rutgers and Indiana are both at home.
Indiana's defense is very physical.
Rutgers will beat them.
So, listen, you've lost 4 in a row. You're going to lose to Wisconsin this week.
Maybe. They did put up 42.
You're going to lose to Michigan. You're at Illinois, which all of a sudden is the favorite on the other side of the
number 24 in the country.
Number 24 in the country.
Yeah.
You're at Penn State.
Number 9 in the country.
You got 2 wins you're looking at.
Maybe.
Nobody thought this. In my wildest dreams, I never envisioned a 4-8 Michigan State team this year.
How about a 2-10?
Ooh.
Potentially.
Yeah.
What happens?
Potentially.
I don't see him winning.
Here's a question, Maz. I'm gonna pose this to you. What happens if they go 2-10?
I think you got to look at the head coach.
No, you're not. They just paid him $9-10 million a year.
I just think you got to look at the
Here's
head
the
coach.
funny thing. Just a side note, at the game, I was literally walking out in the fourth quarter.
I agree with
but
you,
you can
Ryan.
still hear the PA guy, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, Joey Smith from Walled Lake will now attempt a 35-yard field goal. If he makes it, he gets to go on the Michigan State bowl game trip. And I started playing, bowl game? They're not going to make a bowl game.
What year?
You got to get 6 wins.
The kid missed it anyway, so nonetheless. But
Shocking.
I digress.
If they do win 2, 3, or even 4 games, what do you do? I mean, I guess that if that really happens, then Mel Tucker has used his entire leash.
Yeah.
Right?
It's over.
Like you've used your entire leash. So if you come in next year and start off,
He's got to win 9 games next year.
I mean,
he's got to win 9 games next
including
year.
a win against Michigan at home, right? No.
If you start off next year 1-3, I got to tell you, I don't think Tuck will ever come. Like, you start off 1-3 next year, I don't think Tuck will ever come. I think he will be expedited out of there.
If I'm being honest with you, I don't think he comes now. I think it's just too bad. Like, it's so bad right now.
Are you saying Tuck going?
I don't think he's going, but I just don't. I mean, does Mel Tucker instill fear in you? Serious question. And I know he's beaten Michigan twice, and that's great. And that's it. It got him paid. God bless him and his family. Made him $95 million, 2 wins against Michigan. But I know it makes you choke.
It made me cough.
But
he changed the whole coaching landscape salary by that
2
win.
wins in Michigan.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Right.
You're right. You're right, man.
What I'm saying is,
Insert Lincoln. Insert Brian Kelly.
They were the first ones. Remember, we were saying that's going to be a great deal in the future.
Like, are you scared of Mel Tucker at Michigan State?
I'm scared he might burn me with his ashes on a cigar. Other than that, no. They're soft up front. Their offensive line isn't tough. This is the Big Ten. One thing about the Big Ten, you can go back to Dan Dierdorf. You can go back to Orlando Pace. You can go back to Taylor Lewan or whatever. Big Ten, you got to be physical. Rob Sims, Reggie McKenzie. You got to be up front tough. Michigan State's not that. And on the opposite side of the ball, with the exception of Jacoby Windman, they don't have any guys that can get to the quarterback. Secondary is giving up all these pass yards. Peyton Thorne doesn't know what to do. He's also under duress, like you said. They're just a bad football team. Well, outside of their wide receivers. The wide receivers are good. They just can't get the ball.
We'll take a look at the Michigan Wolverines next. They stay unbeaten. First time the Wolverines have gone 6-0 in back-to-back seasons since the mid-'70s.
They're bowl eligible. First team to be bowl eligible.
How about that? Michigan 6-0. How far can they take this thing? We'll do it next. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m. Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Odds Trader is the #1 site for your game day bets, play-by-play updates, and live scores, and the best price on every game for multiple sportsbooks. Best put, Odds Trader is the best. Go there. They have stats that will give you the best bet to make. They give you all the stats you need to make sure you get some of that cash, some of that moolah. Go to oddstrader.com. Simply put, like I said, multiple sportsbooks. They are the best. Forget the rest. Oddstrader.com.
We certainly appreciate Odds Trader as part of our Woodward Sports family. WoodwardSports.com, Woodward Sports Chat. Thank you so much for being along. If you missed any part of the show or any other shows on WoodwardSports.com, check out the Morning Woodward Show, Big D Energy, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Got the heavyweights coming up 5 to 7. Then any kind of podcast news. You've got the shop as well. Brand new shop, by the way. So many different great shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, hats, jackets, shorts, anything you could possibly want. WoodwardSports.com.
Especially let us know when he gets there.
Let me know when he gets here.
That's it.
That's right. But
Michigan dropped. They won, but they dropped.
Yeah, and that really doesn't bother me. Michigan falls.
It should.
4 to 5 now.
5 don't get you in the playoff.
No, it doesn't. But again, Maz, one loss isn't getting Michigan in the playoff either. And if Michigan goes undefeated, they'll be in the college football playoff. If they lose one game, they won't. And that is part of the risk you take when you have the non-conference the way you have the non-conference. Depends on who that one loss is to. Yeah, I mean, look, there's so many good teams right now in college football. Or let me rephrase it. So many worthy teams in college football right now. How many SEC teams are getting in? Because you've got Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee right now. Do not sleep on the Tennessee Volunteers. I've been telling you about Hendon Hooker for 2 years now. I've been telling you about this kid for 2 years now. All he's done is he's uplifted Tennessee. They're the number 6 team in the country. That program is on the right track.
And Bama dropped one.
Because of Hendon Hooker. Bama dropped 3.
Oh, 3 spots. That's right.
Bama went from number 1 to number 3.
2 spots.
So they dropped 2 spots, essentially, I guess.
None of us were right.
I was.
You were.
1 plus 2
But
is
again,
2.
so are the SEC teams going to get 2 in there? That's one.
No.
Ohio State, Michigan, there's one. Then you've got USC out there, UCLA, Pac-12, Big 12. I mean, there's a lot of teams out there. I don't think you're getting in with one loss in the Big Ten this year.
Everybody's excited, and they're looking at the schedule right now. I was like, oh, my God, Tennessee, and oh, man, here's a USC, and here's Michigan, oh, here's Clemson. Clemson snuck up to 4 and blah, blah. I don't want to hear. Nobody cares about Week 7. Nobody cares. At the end of the day, you know what Tennessee has to play this year? Alabama.
Right.
And Georgia.
Well,
Alabama and Georgia. Good night, Tennessee. Good night, Tennessee. Your 4 teams, as it's all said and done, when it's all said and done, are going to be Georgia, Bama, USC, and Michigan.
What if they do a round robin? Because Tennessee and Alabama play this week. What if it's like a round robin where they all beat everybody and they all have 1 loss?
What if I had wings? I could fly.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Forget about college football play. What I'm trying to tell you is Michigan falling to 5, I don't care about.
I don't either.
You beat Penn State, you probably get back up. You beat Ohio State, you're definitely going to be in the top 4. You hold your own cards.
Everybody's excited. Everybody's like, oh, man, Michigan dropped to 5. But look, all you do is worry about each week.
Right. There's no doubt.
You beat Penn State. Like you just said, you go up. You get a bye week. The following week, you come back, you beat your rival in East Lansing, Michigan State. You just keep going about your schedule. This stuff, it's for people like us and barbershop talk and bar talk to have a conversation. Oh, who should be 4? Oh, this should be 2. Why did Alabama slip to 3? We know what's going to go on, and Michigan does too. And Jim Harbaugh is going to prepare his team. Hey, look, fellas, we're not worrying about dropping 1. All we're doing, stacking up wins. You could talk about, oh, well, they almost lost to Indiana, and that's a tough team. What about the Maryland game?
They outscored them 21-0 in the second half, by the way.
After Mike Hart, of course, collapsed on the sidelines, and thank God he's okay.
Here you go. You know what happens, Ryan Ermanni, when you get into league play match? Like, you face some teams, it gets tough. Indiana has Michigan's card. They beat Michigan 2 years ago. They should have beat Michigan 3 and 4 years ago. It's just like that in the conference. Clemson won the national championship in 2016. They beat Troy by 6. I can't even tell you where Troy is. They beat North Carolina State by 7.
Troy's in the booth tonight, Monday Night Football.
That is true. They lost to Pittsburgh, Alabama last year. They legitimately beat Arkansas by 6. They beat Auburn with a 3rd-string quarterback in double overtime. Here we go again. Ohio State, 2014. They lost to Virginia Tech, who wasn't even ranked at the end of the season. They beat Minnesota by 7. None of that matters until the end. Everybody goes through growing pains when you face your conference. They just know you. You've been playing the same teams for 100-plus years. It happens. So everybody pumped the brakes on Michigan getting a tight one to Indiana, or Michigan getting a tight one to Tulia Tagovailoa. It happens. But what happens when you play Ohio State? What happens when you get to the Big Ten championship? That's all that matters.
Michigan number 4 in the coaches poll, though. Just a little side note.
I don't care about the coaches poll, actually. But what I would say is...
You did back in 98, though.
Yeah, I did.
97.
Well, yeah, because they screwed us.
Kiss my you-know-what.
Exactly.
I would say this about Michigan. Everything that they have done in the first 6 weeks of the season has gotten them to play games like this, coming up this week against Penn State. It is going to be a difficult game. It is at home. It is one that you should win. And I look at a quarterback and a team that is showing a little bit of resolve here. You know, I really like the passing game. Over 300 yards for J.J. He did throw the interception. He's going to do that. It was a tip pass. It probably should have been caught, to be honest with you. But Ronnie Bell was involved. And I'll tell you, I'll tell you a player that got involved a little bit that I would like to see more of, and that is Andrell Anthony. 2 catches for 32 yards. And it seems like that is just, okay, 2 catches, 32 yards. This is a player that if they are going to win a Big Ten championship, if they're going to win a national championship, this is the player, to me, that's kind of like the unsung hero waiting in the wings. This is kind of like the unsung guy waiting in the wings. This is the one that I think separates them and takes them to the next level, is a player like this, that extra set of hands, that extra threat that really makes a difference offensively.
Here's what I need to see. All right, so now we're talking about Michigan. Ryan Ermanni said last week that Michigan's going to win a national championship. I said Michigan's going to go 12-0 and get to the playoffs. We'll see what happens. But now let's address it for real. You know what we need to see, Maz? I have yet to see Michigan established, whether it's the offensive coordinator, whether it's Jim Harbaugh, or whether it's the quarterback and J.J. McCarthy. Ryan, who's the guy that can make a play for Michigan in 3rd and 7?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't worry. I'll wait. They haven't established that yet. Who's the guy that can give you a 50-yard touchdown or a 40-yard touchdown in the start of the 1st, in the start of the 2nd, right out of the 3rd, in the pinch in the 4th? That's where Michigan has to get better because they got guys on the team. Talk about Andrew Anthony. Talk about Ronnie Bell. Talk about Sam Still. Talk about Baldwin. I know they got guys. I ain't seen it yet.
How about Donovan Edwards?
Guess what? Where's he been at?
Where has he been?
If you want to beat a Georgia, if you want to beat Ohio State, if you want to be a Bama, you got to have guys that can make those plays. And I love Michigan. I swear to God I do. But them depending on Blake Corum to run everything, it's not going to win them the Ohio State game. It's not going to win them the game in the playoff against Georgia and then the game against Alabama in the national championship. You got to have a guy that can get you a touchdown. You got to have a guy that you have no problem with. It's 3rd and 9. Oh, yeah, cool. We're just going to throw it up to Clemens. They got to establish that guy. And I'm not saying they don't have it. Michigan has to establish him. That's what Michigan needs to do if they really want to get funky about their ticket.
I finally it just came to me. Just when you were talking. Remember last year they really hadn't opened up the offense really until which game?
Michigan State.
The Maryland game. Michigan State a little. But the Maryland game is when they really undressed everything, had trick plays, all of that.
McNamara had 384 yards.
I will tell you this. Donovan Edwards, I have a hunch that Jim Harbaugh has been running just this vanilla offense and vanilla defense. I think they're saving the big guns for the end of the year. And that means Donovan Edwards will have his coming out party against whoever's before Ohio State. What game's before Ohio State?
I'm looking at something now.
Illinois and Rutgers.
Yep.
Illinois and Rutgers. Is it that they're saving their big guns, or is it they miss Josh Gaddis?
I don't know about that. I don't know about that because, to be quite frank,
Joe Klett told us they don't even know who calls the plays up there. Joe Klett said that on national TV and on his podcast. And he asked them, he said, who's calling the play? Who has veto power?
We both call it.
And I understand that. Josh Gaddis, it wasn't a two-for when it was Josh Gaddis. And it took Josh Gaddis 3.5 years to get that offense rolling. And it finally got rolling. The trick plays you saw against Iowa, the Nebraska game, the pass to Eric All to win the Penn State game. That's only a question.
No. I understand that. But Josh Gaddis didn't show up to me last year until Maryland, Ohio State, Iowa.
Josh Gaddis got you to the playoff.
It was the last 3 weeks of the season.
That's what football, Brian. That's when football counts. Right. Nobody cares about September.
Right.
Football counts.
That's what I'm telling you. They're waiting. They're waiting. It's vanilla now. You ain't seen nothing yet. I hope.
And that's why I just asked the question. I didn't say that. I disapprove of what they're doing. I'm just asking.
Miami's struggling too. It's not
Miami. Who?
The Hurricanes.
Why you mention them?
Because you said Josh Gaddis. So I'm just saying
they don't have any talent down there.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Forget about Miami right now. What I'm trying to say is this: do you know who led the team in rushing last year? 5 of the first 7 games.
Yeah,
Haskins,
quarterback,
Blake Corum. It almost, if you look at last season, it almost feels like the first 7 weeks of the season doesn't matter. It's like you just go through trying all this, and then the last half of the season, it's Haskins, Anthony, Johnson, Edwards, Wilson, and then receiving yards. It's almost like they're playing games here the first half of the season.
And how'd that work out for us against Georgia? You got to have some guys that can make some plays. You got to establish that. Last year, they didn't have guys that you can go to in 3rd and 7. They didn't have guys that you could count on for a 45-yard touchdown. Change the game and give a spark. Take the crowd out of the game if you're on the road. They got to establish some games.
I'm saying the same thing. You're just not giving me.
Well, no, but you're saying the first 7 weeks don't matter. And
No. I'm saying that last year they were a completely different team in their first 7 games than their last 6 games.
And they still didn't. I understand that it was a great game plan, once again, by Josh Gaddis, opening up
What's
the
your heart on for Josh Gaddis?
Well, because I saw Josh Gaddis call a play that J.J. McCarthy, every time he called plays with J.J. McCarthy, that's why you were clamoring over J.J. McCarthy, because Josh Gaddis put him in great situations. I saw Josh Gaddis throw the ball to Donovan Edwards against Maryland or Rutgers, and he had 180 yards receiving. I saw Josh Gaddis call a running back pass to J.J. McCarthy up the sideline in the Big Ten Championship. I saw Josh Gaddis do some amazing things. It took him a long time to get there, but I saw that. You can say what you want. Great teams, their players are established at the beginning of the season. When I played at Michigan, man, I had 140 first week, 120 next week. Mike Hart had 120 his first game. That's all I'm saying, is you got to establish some players. You can't wait and try to surprise some teams, because guess what? This ain't peekaboo. You're not surprising teams that don't believe in you. That's all I'm saying.
All right, we're going to take a break, come right back. But first, a message from Chili Peppers Tanning. As Braylon, it takes stuff. We'll take him to the hospital if this doesn't subside in 4 hours.
It will. We will be fine. 27 locations for Chili Peppers Tanning. 2 right here on Woodward and more on the way. Hey, come back here, Bray. Don't leave anywhere. No, go ahead. You will get all the best deals if you join the Chili Pepper Club. They're going to save you $5 against all competitors on unlimited tanning and more. Don't forget those great products that they have in the store, and homecoming is here, folks. Michigan State's got homecoming coming up against Wisconsin. So you know your son or daughter wants to get that tan. They want to look good. Chili Peppers Tanning is the place for you. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters is chilipepperstanning.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been, I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Looking to buy or sell or invest in your home, guess what? You know who you want to go to? You want to go to my boy Mike Phillips. Mike Phillips does it the best. 23 years he has in his business. Simply put, guy's #1. And he's a Woodward Sports Guy.com. Check this out. You want to buy, you want to sell, you want to invest, he'll get you there. Whatever you want to do, Mike Phillips can get it done. So check this out. You want to get it? 313-403-0011. 313-403-0011. Game on.
We'll take a deeper dive into the Michigan Wolverines tomorrow, Tuesday show. But first, I want to get back to the NFL. Lots of action yesterday.
Maz beat you up?
What's that?
I said before Maz beat you up.
Oh, man. Maz loves his NFL. Lots of one-score games yesterday.
Always.
Not the Lions.
Not
Buffalo.
Go ahead, Maz.
All right, JB, hit it, man. How about those Giants? 4-1. They go to London and knock off the Packers 29-22. They give them a safety at the end to make that a little bit closer, that game. Saquon Barkley is back, 107 yards and a touchdown. Had a slow start, but looked great. Again, the London crowd digging these games, man.
Yeah, Brian Daboll is doing an excellent job of getting Saquon Barkley involved in the offense often and early. He's back, man. Like, this is the Saquon Barkley that we saw in 2016, so it's great to see him come back. Brian Daboll has these guys out there having fun.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the Giants haven't had this much fun probably since Odell Beckham's second year in the league. They're having fun. They're making plays. Yeah, it's not pretty. It's not all, every play is a highlight. Every play is designed to a T. Guess what? That's football. However you got to win, you're winning. Brian Daboll has these guys having fun.
The other New York team, the Jets, big winners in Jersey, 40-17. Braylon was there. So was Breece Hall, 197 yards combined and a touchdown. Gang Green, man. How about him?
Lions are going to need a running back next year, by the way.
Look, when you draft players in the first round, like those are the players that you want to hit on. The first round and the second round, those guys got to be starters. Those guys got to make plays. Sauce Gardner, interception. Breece Hall, 197 yards. Garrett Wilson made 2 tremendous catches, and Zach Wilson made a diving run for a touchdown to show his toughness as Joe Namath was in the building. Jets. Yes.
The other New York team, upstate New York and western New York, the Buffalo Bills. They're the best team in football.
They're the only real
If they
New
play
York
the Eagles, they'd beat the Eagles right now. 38-3 over Pittsburgh. Josh Allen, 466 and 4 touchdowns.
Video game numbers.
Mike Tomlin's worst loss in his career. A lot of Twitter people on the Pittsburgh side said the Steelers quit in this game.
Sometimes that's what happens, man. Like when there are games that happen like this, Ryan and Maz. I played in a game with the New York Jets in 2010. We go up to Gillette. We play the Patriots. We knew from jump it wasn't our game. We got our ass whooped. The score was 49-3. Sometimes you just know it just isn't the game. You try to give your all still, but you just know when you know, man.
Yeah.
You knew from jump Buffalo, like the Steelers were like, look, man, we're missing players. It is what it is. You know from jump.
All right, let's move it on. Tampa Bay hangs on for dear life. Atlanta's tough. Tampa Bay beat them 21-15.
They almost beat the Rams.
And I'm telling you, don't bet against the Falcons every week. Arthur Smith has got this team playing good. There's another good coach. Arthur Smith has got this team overachieving. Would you say? If Falcons overachieving?
Like,
Tampa Bay underachieving a little?
I don't know what I can't put my finger on the pulse because their stats are horrible.
They should have beat the Rams.
I agree, but if you look at Mariota's stats and you look at what's the tight end's name? Pitts.
Kyle Pitts.
You look at
He
Kyle
was out
Pitts,
yesterday.
You look at the running, but like their stats, they're not big, they're not gaudy, but for some reason, man, they're fighting hard and they're keeping their team in it to the end, man.
Atlanta could be 4-1. It was a late interception of the end zone that would have given them the lead.
They got a shaky roughing. Did you see the roughing penalty?
And then yesterday,
that was horrible.
They should have gotten the ball back. It was a terrible roughing the passer penalty.
Again,
Horrific.
Tom Brady gets the break. He gets the break.
Something Grady. The play was Grady. That was abysmal. Like watching that play and watching them call that. Look, I get it. It's Tom. He's the GOAT. But there was nothing wrong.
It was the twist. I think it was the illusion of the twist. It was not a penalty.
Yeah. What do you want this man to do?
But it was the illusion of a twist.
And I heard, and I don't want to steal his take. Shannon Sharp said this early on Undisputed. What do you want these guys to do? Defy physics? There's no way that I could come on a stunt, loop around, come full speed, and then all of a sudden just come to a stop.
It should be reviewable.
And then grab you and tag you down.
That's the problem.
That's
the only
defying
answer.
physics. What do they want us to do? Two-hand touch? Tag?
That's the only answer. It should be reviewable.
Yeah.
That's why people think the game is fixed
Yeah.
for plays like that.
Yeah.
New Orleans, 39-32 winners over Seattle. Taysom Hill, 4 touchdowns. He's part quarterback. He's part wide receiver. He's part tight end.
Swiss Army knife.
Saints off of the London game.
I know.
Win it easy. Houston wins their first game. They beat Jacksonville 13-6. Tennessee over Washington 21-17.
That Jacksonville game, by the way, that's the one that disappoints me the most. Tomorrow I'd like to do a topic, who's your B team? Like what team will you adopt in 2022?
Jags.
I kind of wanted it to be Jacksonville for me this year.
Well, Washington had a chance to win their game. Did you see? Carson Wentz throws an interception down on the 2-yard line to end that game. Let's move on. Minnesota over Chicago 29-22. Another London team
Terrible.
With a win. They hang on and they win that game. Chargers beat Cleveland 30-28. They miss a last-second field goal as well. Dallas destroyed the Rams 22-10. Stafford sacked 5 times. And Cooper Rush is 5-0 as a starter.
It's going to be very interesting, Maz and Ryan Ermanni, is when Dak comes back, what's the conversation? And I understand, $75 million, so he's the starter. When he comes back, he's in there. But what I ask the question is, what's Kellen Moore going to do with the offense? Because you see the success that the offense has with Cooper Rush, just keeping it simple. Like, when they come back, are they going to do the same thing with Dak and play to the defense and play to the running game? Or are they going to try to open up to a guy, is it that time? Is it that time?
Don't even say it. Don't even say that Dak's not getting his job back.
No, I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
What I am going to say is when Dak comes back, they're going to lose that game. whether it's to the Lions or anybody else after that. Cooper Rush, 5-0 as a starter. Dak comes back. They're going to lose the first one. And you just wait to see the claws from Cowboys fans coming out. Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
They're going to blame it on Mike McCarthy. They're going to blame it on Dak.
Well, it doesn't help when you have an owner that is in public lobbying for a quarterback controversy. That just doesn't help things. That puts Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore into a very a precarious position.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy looked like a kid robbing a candy store yesterday with that defense. He was smiling ear to ear like a slit watermelon. How about the Philadelphia Eagles? They hang on. They beat Arizona 20-17. Did you see the clock management at the end of that game? Arizona blew that game, and of course their field goal kicker missed a 42-yarder, and our guy was out.
They misplayed the clock because they thought it was a first down.
Well, no, they didn't think it was a first down. He slid before the first down.
Wow.
So you have to mark it short. Kingsbury was not ready.
It was so close.
Yeah.
I think they thought it was a first down, so they couldn't spike it.
Well, they could get the measurement then.
Yeah.
Get the measurement. Cliff Kingsbury did not help them. They had a backup kicker because Prater was out. And then Carolina, they got killed. San Francisco beats them 37-15.
Is Prater in the league? Is he still in there?
He got hurt.
Prater
got hurt.
He was the Cardinals.
And Baltimore beat Cincinnati 19-17. 4 field goals for Justin Tucker, including the game winner. He's the best kicker in NFL history. I know Adam Vinatieri's out there, but this guy's the best.
Adam Vinatieri doesn't hold a candle with Justin Tucker is, man. Whether it's deep, whether it's in, whether it's under 40, whether it's over 60, he's that guy. You want to talk about something for real? They need to start exploring paying certain type of kickers certain type of money, because he deserves way more than the money he's getting as the number one field goal kicker in the league.
And we got to tell you how we did too.
Oh yeah, there we go. How did we do? Who's inching closer to the top?
Not me.
But first, a message from Centron.
Centron is the official energy of the Detroit Red Wings. And now, Centron has combined all 3 of their flavors, the delicious flavors that are cranberry, sugar-free, and the classic, into a 6-pack limited edition. Check this out. Go to CentronWorld.com/Red Wings. That's how you get this package. They want to re-energize the community, whether it's the Red Wings, whether it's the Tigers, whether it's the Lions, and whether it's the Pistons. WoodwardSports.com and Centron want to energize you.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Welcome back, WoodwardSports.com.
It's not a very hard Monday.
Check out the website, WoodwardSports.com. Click on that shop and you can get some gear. We've got some great new gear up there on the shop. Check it out. Absolutely. WoodwardSports.com. Maz, Braylon, how did we do this weekend, gents?
All right, I'll lead it off. I had a great record coming in. I fell down a little bit this week. A couple of half-point losses. 3-4 this week for me. That brings me down to 22-11-2.
There you go.
Ryan went 5-2 this week. That gets him within 2 of the top. He's at 20-13. Braylon fell to 2-5 this week, but a lot of time to go. But 2 half-point losses were killers, man.
See, that's that BS though, because look, I won.
Here we go.
No. I'm playing the way we play. I'm using the spread. But I lost the first one. I picked the Patriots. I won that one. I picked the Vikings, but they won by 7.
Me too. I'm with you there.
So that's 2. I picked the Eagles. They didn't win. They didn't cover 5. That's 3 technically. I lost the Saints. I picked the Cowboys and I picked the Ravens. I should be 5-2.
I'm with you. I had 2 of those wins too.
Man,
you want me to switch it and give us each 2 wins each? Okay. Half-point loss is a half-point loss. It's okay,
Interesting, man.
We still love you though.
It's a long season.
I got 3 wins this week. That's it.
All I know is I won 5 of those 7 games.
There you go.
It's a grind, man. It is a grind.
If there ain't no money on the line, we should just be playing.
Hey, let me do a little quick baseball for you guys. This will bring you up to date.
Oh, how you doing today, man?
Excuse me.
I am. I'm going to start with you.
Can you give me my credit?
Yeah, you're going to get your credit.
Okay, I take it.
Okay. The wild card winners over the weekend. If you missed baseball over the weekend, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you. Because Saturday's game with the Guardians and the Rays that went 16 innings.
It was amazing.
And a 1-0 game and a home run to win it.
Gorgeous.
You cannot beat that for theater.
Gorgeous.
Impossible.
MLB and NHL have been crushing it in the playoffs, and I can't say that enough. Baseball last year, baseball so far this year, and in NHL, they've been the best as it relates to the playoffs, including NBA and the NFL.
The Guardians, the Mariners, the Phillies, and the Padres. The Padres last night. The Fathers, the Padres. They beat up on my Mets. So they all advance to the division series. They're actually, in the NL, you've got two division rivals. Braves, Phillies, Dodgers, San Diego, although the Dodgers 28-3 in their last 31 against San Diego. Yankees get Cleveland, Astros get the Mariners, Braves and Phillies, Dodgers, and Slam Diego.
Padres win again. They're going to take the Dodgers
I hope
out.
you are so right. Boy, would that be fun.
Listen, this is what's going to happen. The Guardians are going to win. The Padres are going to take out the Dodgers. Who was that up top in the
Phillies and the Braves.
You know I got to win it all.
And Astros, Mariners.
You know what? I'm going to be different. I'm going to take J-Rod. I'm going to take the Mariners over the Astros.
I'll tell you, they were down, Ryan.
9.
Eight.
No, 8. They were down
8-1. And they beat the Jays 10-9.
That was the injury where Bichette and
that was that.
Who I forget who it was, but look.
It was George Springer.
Dude, if there was ever a team to beat the Dodgers, though, wouldn't it be the team that's got Juan Soto and Manny Machado?
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Bell.
You know, you look at
Josh Bell is
He's crushing the ball.
But like you look at how you get good quickly in baseball. Just mention to you Juan Soto and Manny Machado. Manny Machado was a free agent and went to the highest bidder.
Yep.
So that's money. And Juan Soto was a trade.
Because his team didn't value him.
Was a trade. It's not hard.
Fernando Tatis should be on this team.
That's what
Had he just
Can you imagine if he's
taken
on that
his
team?
time with recovery, he'd be back by now, and they could possibly beat the Dodgers. They got 3 great pitchers at the top of their rotation, including last night, Joe Musgrove. Did you see what the Mets did to him yesterday? Buck Showalter comes out in the 6th inning and has the umpires check Joe.
His ears.
Check everything. They were like rubbing him down, for crying out loud. He was like...
That was embarrassing.
It was embarrassing.
I was embarrassed.
And then Joe just went like this with his nose. He like strung it.
I was embarrassed for Buck Martinez.
Musgrove was
Buck Showalter. Buck Martinez. He's with the Jays, bro. He was there announcing. That's okay, buddy.
Musgrove, the 2020 Cy Young winner. Just imagine being the pitching staff for the LA Dodgers, whether it's Kershaw or whether it doesn't matter, and just know second batter is Juan Soto. Third batter is Manny Machado.
Right.
Fourth batter is Josh Bell.
Yeah.
That's a gauntlet of hitters.
It is. I'm with you. I
It's a
think they can
gauntlet
give
of
him.
hitters, man.
They can give it to him. By the way, Yankees are going to win, by the way.
Bray, tomorrow we've got your former teammate with the Jets, Damian Woody, going to join us.
Oh, the Woodman.
Can't wait to see him. I actually was in Chatham where we both lived at the same time. He still stays there. An amazing guy. Just so many stories, so much fun. Damian's going to come on and he's going to take us around the NFL a little bit, man. Tell us who to watch out for.
All right, get us out of here, Bray.
Love you guys, man. Was in New York this weekend, man, but I thought about you guys. JB, Fletch, Mass, and Ryan Ermanni. Yo, we got a great week planned for you, man. Damian Woody, New York Jets, ESPN analyst tomorrow. We'll talk about Michigan, talk about Michigan State, see what Mel
When's
Tucker's...
it coming?
Hey, look, man, we're trying to figure it out, man. We'll get back into the Detroit Lions.
coming.
What are we going to do during the bye to get better as they play the Cowboys in 2 weeks? For my man, JB...
Or the apple cider.
They can go to Franklin.
The apple orchard. We're on our way.
They can go to Franklin. For my man...
chopping.
Keep chopping. Keep chopping.
Keep chopping.
How's the woodshed?
Woodshed, baby. Take them out
It's
to the
empty.
woodshed.
In the deep water.
Oh, yeah.
The woodshed is it's empty right now. It's currently empty. But my man J.B. Fletch to my right, Maz.
It's all in good fun.
My brother from another mother to the left. Love your brother, Ryan Ermanni. We are Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Booyah!
I believe we hit rock bottom, so now the only place to go is back up.